Culturally Clueless.
Salam, guys, and welcome to Culturally Clueless. It's just me and Maria today, so you guys know everything could go left. And we're going to talk about the ceasefire. We're going to talk about Rachel Zegler Snow White, Gal Gadot, and much, much more. So stay tuned. Okay, let's not lie about it, Maria. This is our second attempt for today.
A second?
Because you made me cringe.
No, I didn't.
Said. That threw me off.
Okay. Now we're gonna start starting over.
Yeah, we have to start over. So we don't have a guest this week, unfortunately. Well, fortunately as well, because Maria likes it when it's just us.
Yeah. Who need guests when you have us, guys?
And I just want to say also something that Maria complained about before we get started. Stop blaming her in the comments.
I didn't complain.
You didn't? You brought it to my attention. Okay, my bad.
No, but I see this in some of the comments. The anger is directed to the correct target. So thank you for that, people. Go to the source.
So
always go to the source.
Maria is the producer. She is the source, literally.
No, I know the source.
I don't have no power anymore of who is going to be a guest here or not.
Please,
because if
don't defend me. Don't defend me anymore. You're fired as my lawyer, as my publicist.
I'll be a good lawyer. What are you talking about?
No, you say, Maria, no worry, I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna defend you. And look what you say. You're fired.
Well, I didn't get to fit. So stop coming in the comments for Maria about Ray's absence. Okay, Ray will be here, and Maria. I know you guys. Maria lied to you guys. I understand. And
no, I didn't lie. I say he's coming after Ramadan.
You said he's working on getting ready or whatever he's doing to join here more often. Okay.
Yes.
No, and I want to give everyone an advice. Unless you hear it from the horses.
The horse is not here to talk. The kangaroo is not here to talk.
Oh my gosh. Did you just call him a kangaroo?
It's Australia.
Okay, shout out to Ray. Anyway, he will be here at some point very soon. He's on his way. He told you guys he's on his way. And that's all we can say. You'll be surprised.
He's coming on a toro. That's why he's taking so long.
Oh my gosh. Maybe the more you ask, guys, the longer it will take. I don't know. You have to actually take it up with Ray in the comments, not with us.
Exactly. Thank you.
And Maria is the producer. She needs to. She is responsible for who's coming here and who's not. Because if it was up to me, there would be some other people here. But Maria always says no.
What? What other people you want here?
All of those people you turned down.
Which one?
Those people.
The imaginary people.
No, I can't say their name. No. No, all jokes aside, that's a joke, obviously. All right. So, Maria, you have a question, and I'm scared. I like your question when other people are here because you know what? I get to hide and I don't have to answer.
No, but this time you are lucky because this is not a question. Mm-hmm. This is a love story / political statement as well. So
political love story?
It's a political statement mixed with a love story.
Okay.
So this beautiful woman, Ellen, she's 76 years old.
A 76-year-old woman shot her husband and was sentenced to 366 days in prison. The couple had planned the incident together because Jerry was terminally ill. His ulcers caused him excruciating pain, and they couldn't afford the medical expenses beyond what insurance covered. Desperate, Jerry pleaded with Ellen, "Please, help me. I don't want to live in this pain anymore." In response, Ellen went home, retrieved a gun and bullets, and returned to the hospital. She said Jerry had wanted to pull the trigger himself, but he was too weak, so she helped him do it. Afterward, she locked herself in his hospital room, wanting to spend time alone with him and using the gun to keep medical staff and police from entering. Following a tense 4-hour standoff, police subdued Ellen using flashbangs. As officers entered the room, she was reportedly preparing to turn the gun on herself. During the trial, the judge expressed surprise and sympathy toward Ellen's testimony, saying it was highly convincing. In the end, Ellen was sentenced to 366 days in prison. Do you think this sentence was fair? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
So this beautiful woman, 76-year-old, the SWAT team came to look for her. Oh. But you won't believe why. Ellen has her husband on the hospital with a very bad case of ulcer, and he's in a lot of pain. He was in a lot of pain, and the insurance didn't cover the painkillers that he needed. Oh. So this man was suffering a lot, and he asked Ellen to please help terminate the pain. So Ellen went to the house, got a gun, got to the hospital, and finished with his husband's pain because he couldn't take it anymore. And then she was planning to terminate her life, but the SWAT team came and stopped her. And she going to spend 366 days in jail. And the judge was very moved. So the sentence is only 1 year. But this is what happened in this country because our health insurance is so broken. People cannot afford pay medication that they needed. So my question for you, would you do it? Is your loved one you see it in pain and don't have the resources to stop it? Will you stop it that way?
I think you always ask questions that are so not easy to answer. No, I would not do it. I would never do it because A, it's against my religion. B, I could never just like shoot someone, let alone somebody that is my husband or any family member. This is obviously a very tragic story, and there is a lot to it because the fact that the judge was moved, and I find it always very interesting because there's how judges are, how do I say this? Judges, so they're not objective, I'm sorry. If a judge is moved, then he is personally affected, and I don't know. Like this becomes at some point unfair when we look at other cases of other people. I mean, in this case, obviously it's very nice. It is a moving story. I'm not gonna lie, but there's tons of moving stories, and I don't know if these people always get the same grace by a judge.
I know. I mean, the desperation takes a toll on your mental health, right? You lose it for a second. You don't think right. The only thing that this woman probably had in her head is like the pain that his husband is going through. She cannot do nothing to stop it. So it does definitely affect you psychologically. And I guess that's why the judge took in consideration when we are outside the problem, we can see things in a more clear way. But when you are in, everything is so blurry.
I mean,
that you lost perspectives.
I could never be a judge because I would have done the same, probably even give her less, give her nothing, because at the end of the day, they're both in their 70s or whatever. I don't know how old the husband was, but the fact that he asked this of her, and again, to me, it's a religious thing. Why not to do something like that? And I'm not the type of person to be able to. I know that certain countries have euthanasia, like Switzerland, even Canada. And I talked about it a lot in the past as well, how Canada is actually, how this is a problem, this whole euthanasia. Like you can, in Canada, you can say, oh my gosh, I cannot pay my loan, or I am I have diabetes and I'm overweight. Now I just need to die, and they give you the go ahead, so I don't know if humans should decide over other humans' time of death.
Well, I think it's case by case. Like, for example, the last couple of examples that you gave are borderline silly, right? But Ellen and her husband situation.
Would you do it?
When I think I would do, because I remember when my grandfather was in the hospital, and he was suffering a lot, and my family was like, no, let's try this and let's try that, even though the doctor told them the brain is affected, the brain is not working. The only reason why he was alive is because he had a strong heart. The heart is the last thing to stop. But her brain was not there.
Yeah.
So all the impulse that they saw was a biological impulse.
Mm-hmm.
But the pain, the body is still in pain, right? So it's so hard for some people to let go. And I think what Ellen did was very brave, because it was so hard for her to let his husband of so many years go, just to give him some peace. I guess the best gift that you can give people is peace. And Isa was Helen, and I was 76 years old, and I had no resources. Isa was in her shoes, I'd probably do it.
I think this is one of the great examples where, as you told me, like, as you said in the beginning here, like, this is the problem in this country, referring to healthcare.
Exactly. That's another point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our resources and wasting on eliminated civilizations across the planet. Meanwhile, here in this quote first world country, we have people that cannot afford medication, aspirin, visit to the doctor. And it's not because we don't have it, it's because they are wasted.
I mean, to be honest, there is many, many, many very similar cases in many different development or third world countries. But it's a huge thing to go and just shoot someone, and for the life of me, I just can't.
Yeah, it's hard.
Why did you have to start so negative, bro?
What do you mean?
This is sad that somebody is so desperate to be like.
It is, but it's a reality.
It is.
And hopefully people appreciate what they have, the time that they have, your health, because I know that life is hard and harder for others, but we always have to look for the silver lining.
The silver lining.
Count your blessing before they're gone.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of blessing, we have news, or have a little update about Mahmoud Khalil.
When I'm president, we will deport the foreign jihad sympathizers, and we will deport them very quickly, and Hamas supporters will be gone.
Turn around. Okay, let's not. Okay, he's not resisting. He's giving me his phone, okay?
One of the faces of the students' movements against the genocide in Gaza, Mahmoud Khalil, is fighting deportation from the US. In this video, we'll tell you why his supporters fear he is a victim of an orchestrated campaign against pro-Palestinian protests. On the evening of March 8th, Khalil, a recent Columbia University graduate and pro-Palestine activist, was accused of leading activities aligned with Hamas.
There's no use for this. Don't worry about it. You're gonna have to come with us. Don't worry. I'm coming with you. Don't worry.
He was taken from his home in New York by plainclothes officers.
You guys really don't need to be doing all of that.
It's fine.
Habibi, كيف بدي أتصل فيك?
Take Amy. Call Amy.
Okay.
His lawyer and his 8 months pregnant wife, who is a US citizen, say he was given no official warrant, and for 24 hours, his whereabouts were unknown.
Mr. Khalil is a widely respected activist who has never been charged with any crime whatsoever. In fact, he was considered to be one of the more helpful and more compromising leaders of the protest movement, who was trying to find common ground between protesters, demonstrators, and school administrators.
Khalil is a 29-year-old Palestinian who was a lead negotiator for Columbia University's encampment protests against the genocide in Gaza last year. These protests were part of a nationwide movement calling for universities to divest from companies supporting Israel's military actions in Gaza. He also recently obtained his green card, making him a lawful permanent resident of the country. But when he was arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, they said it had been revoked.
It is possible for someone's green card to be revoked, but it's very rare, and a court process has to occur. You have none of that here. He's not been charged with a crime. He's certainly not committed any crimes. And so as a lawful permanent resident, he should not have been detained in this way.
Those grounds are vague. They are rarely used. Essentially, they are a form of punishment and retaliation for the exercise of free speech.
On March 7th, just a day before Khalil's arrest, Trump's administration pulled $400 million in grant funding to Columbia because of what it called the university's continued inaction in the face of persistent harassment of Jewish students.
Over 300 Jews and allies took over the downstairs of Trump Towers in protest of the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, and to ensure that we have the right to protest, that we have the right to have freedom of expression, and sort of in opposition to everything that the Trump regime is doing to our democracy right now.
He did not express support for any foreign terrorist organization. He did not do anything on behalf of a foreign terrorist organization. He did not violate the law. He was not charged with violating the law. And so this argument the administration's making is nonsense. What they're essentially saying is that anyone who protested the genocide is at risk of being deported because the administration considers opposition to the Israeli government's genocide as activities aligned with Hamas. That is insane. It's nonsense, and it cannot stand up in a court of law that upholds the law. You would think that something like this would never happen in a democracy that supposedly values free speech and upholds the law. Our laws are very clear. You cannot arbitrarily arrest people, even immigrants, just because they disagree with the government's policies. And you certainly cannot try to silence college kids because they dared to protest a genocide. The college kids who protested the genocide in Gaza are no different than the kids who protested the Vietnam War, apartheid South Africa, and segregation.
President Donald Trump has said Khalil's arrest is just the first of many, describing him as a radical foreign pro-Hamas student. Right now, Khalil remains in custody at a detention facility in Louisiana, and a federal judge has temporarily blocked his deportation. But here's the bigger question. If a legal US resident can be detained and stripped of their status without due process, what does that mean for other activists, journalists, or even regular Americans who believe in the freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom to protest?
A judge ruled he is supposed to be back in New Jersey, back from Louisiana. God knows why they took him to. Actually read why they took him to Louisiana, but I forgot. And on that, I just want to say that the judge ruled against deportation so far, but we don't know what's going to happen. His wife Noor said that the fight will continue until he gets his justice. For those who are still sleeping from, I don't know how long ago, Mahmoud Khalil is a green card holder. His green card was revoked. He was taken by ICE in the middle of the night from his home, and his 8-month pregnant wife, who is obviously forced to deal with the situation in her situation, which is absolutely disgusting. But then speaking, there are so many people who have been detained and so many people who have been made an example of, and a lot of these people nobody actually speaks about. There is even people who have been beaten to hospital, and it just doesn't make mainstream media, like always.
Can you rewind? Did you say that the green card was revoked? So what is the situation right now?
I don't know. We don't know. Well, when they came, they said, okay, your visa is revoked. He was like, I have a green card. And they were like, okay, then your green card is revoked. However, so
they were talking bullshit, because that's not how it works.
I know, but then there is another green card. There's a couple of green card holders who have been detained. One of them was beaten. So I don't know what they're doing, but the orange agent is very busy of late. He has.
Even in a horror movie, bro.
Absolutely. And then the next bad thing we have to talk about is obviously this whole breaching the ceasefire, which has been happening, but there are literally new attacks on Gaza since last Tuesday night. I believe it was 2 a.m. in the morning in Gaza when the new bombs started dropping. And mind you, since the ceasefire in January, there was over 150 people, I believe, who were killed so far, being shot and whatnot. But now in 1 week, I think we have over 700 people, if not more by now, because it changes by the minute. It's very hard to keep up. We have also hundreds of injured people, and people don't know where to go. They're supposed to evacuate. It's like basically the same thing starting all over again.
في ساعات الليل المتأخرة قصف عنيف في جميع أرجاء قطاع غزة من شمال قطاع غزة إلى جنوب قطاع غزة. يا ساتر يا رب، يا ساتر. سلام. يا ساتر يا رب. استهدافات في كل مكان. في غزة وفي خان يونس غرب. هيا صاروخ. الله أكبر والله أكبر.
And that ceasefire also unquote because there was never a ceasefire. They always arrested, kill people, kidnap people in Gaza and in the West Bank.
Absolutely. It's not just about Gaza. Like if we look at Jenin, it's insane. The settler violence is outrageously growing by the day. There's really no other way to describe it except like a genocide at this point. And in April, I think it's the 29th, we do have a hearing at the ICC about the aid, about Israel's aid or the lack of aid that they're letting in. They were advised last year, almost a year ago, to let in aid. And it's just ridiculous that 1 year later, they're going to resume it. At this point, like the credibility is totally gone.
Yeah, this is a mockery of the justice system.
Yep, and international law and human rights and all of that. And on that tip, Trump and the U.S., I should say, because I don't know if he did it personally or one of his minions did it. So countries like Somalia, Somali, and Sudan were approached to take in displaced Palestinians. The problem was last year that Congo was in the talks. We all know that Congo has its own situation. They have their own genocide going on for over 30 years. There is 30 million people killed. And Congo has been always going through it because it's one of the richest, if not the richest country when it comes to resources, minerals, all of that stuff. We need to remember that in the past, people like King Leopold did a lot of damage and a lot of atrocities there. But this is ongoing. This is really, really ongoing. The Sudan is obviously also a genocide. Somalia, the occupation is also trying to establish like military bases there. So it's quite interesting how they are sending Palestinians to all countries with immense problems and immense atrocities going on, poverty, and the same countries where they are also participating in destroying the people.
Yes, they're making things worse, involving themselves on issues that they don't understand.
Yes. They don't understand?
They don't understand that.
What do you mean?
Like the US Trump personality, the person specifically. It seemed like he just go by the flow. Like someone said it's very, I don't know how it's gonna sound, like throwing shit to the wall, hoping something to stay. Like talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, something to catch on.
So I see this like that.
I don't know. I don't know. Literally, I don't know. It's definitely one of the worst reality shows ever. That's all I can say. Like, we used to complain about bad reality shows on VH1 or Zeus or whatever, but this one here is beyond bad. And now we're gonna come to our next topic. My God, Maria, you're so quiet today. Literally, you are. I'm gonna tell the people to attack you again if you don't speak.
What do you mean?
No, yeah, I feel like I'm talking all by myself.
The difference in how the live-action Disney princesses talk about their characters is actually so telling. Watch these interview clips.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
I think a lot of Disney films also, when the sequel comes, they expect the princess to then like be in armor and have a sword and fight, and like, oh, that makes her strong, and you know, of course there are princesses that it's necessary, like Mulan. She's a fighter, that's in her DNA, and Aurora is a fighter, but in a different way. I think there's a strength in her femininity and softness, and there's nothing wrong with her wanting to be a mother and be married, and you know, my mom always wanted to be a mom, and I think there's a beauty in that, and that is still strong. So it's nice to represent that, you know, kind of woman.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's so many beautiful qualities about her that we know and love already in the original. Her curiosity, her passion, her headstrongness, you know, her ability to not take no for an answer. I wanted to keep all those things as well as add some of me to it, especially like some of the nuances and riffs in the songs and just my personality as well. So I hope that shines through in this version.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film.
Obviously, every girl wants to be a princess. I mean, ever since you're a kid, and a Disney princess and Cinderella, it's kind of, if I say it's like too much to really even believe, even though we're halfway through filming and it's all happening. But so yeah, obviously that kind of idea of being a princess is just magical. And then on top of that, actually working on the film with Ken and with everyone, the essence of who she is, and that's like a dream role too, because she's so special and kind and unique, and so it's been really just playing her, regardless of the fact that she's been a princess, has been a real dream role, yeah.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
It's so much about the human condition and what it is to be alive, what it is to give and receive love, what it is to see deeper than the external and the superficial. And I think in that sense, it's kind of one of the most soulful Disney movies I can think of.
When you watch how the other actresses spoke about the princesses they were portraying, it really underlines just how poorly Rachel Zegler carried herself during interviews. Now, if Snow White wasn't her favorite princess growing up, fair enough.
This Snow White movie it has very bad criticism, critics, very, very bad. Like, people who watch it say it's definitely trash. And they say, okay, as much as Rachel Zegler was the best part in the movie, or she was the best in the movie, but to me, I will say this, when you have a trash movie, it's not very hard for someone to stand out as the best. So And I don't know where to even begin, Maria. Where do you want to start? Like, I was complaining about this is a movie from 1937. Rachel Zegler was complaining about how the movie is dated, how Snow White's dress is ugly and old, how the story is lame and it needs an update, it needs a storyline a change, and the prince is a stalker. Like, she had a lot to say because what they made in this remake, the main part is that Snow White is dreaming not of the prince to come and find her or whatever. She's dreaming of becoming a leader.
Okay.
Vomit, bro.
I don't like the actors, and both actors, I think they are too much.
Oh, we're gonna get to the other devil. Don't worry.
Okay,
Let's
gonna go to Rachel first.
Yeah.
Okay. Rachel is too much. That she's. I did see one, and I explained this to many people. The way that you deliver the message is more important than the message himself. Why? Because if you are being obnoxious with it, people are not going to hear it. You can hack the cure of cancer, but if you are being too arrogant or think that you are better, people are not even going to hear it, not going to listen to you. You're going to undermine whatever you are trying to accomplish. Because the message that she tried to say, what she's trying to emphasize is that the mentality for the 1930s is different from the mentality now.
You don't say.
The mentality right now, we are encouraging people to solve their own problems and be the leaders on their life.
Amazing. Is that what we want 5-year-olds and 3-year-olds to know already?
Yes, that's what I have a daughter. And that's what I encourage. Like, a mom is not going to be there forever, and Prince Charming is not coming. So is the one that has to take the decisions to take you wherever you want to come. That's what she's trying to deliver.
No, that's not the problem. That is not the problem. Everybody should be self-sufficient. Everybody
that's
what
you couldn't. That's what she was trying to say. That you couldn't hear the message because she was, first of all, trashing the movie.
First of all, you say that to me, I'm not able to hear the message when I'm the one that has been analyzing this stupid girl for like over 2 years. I got her message very well. This is a whole movie that is based on a girl dreaming to be a leader. She's not dreaming to be self-sufficient and confident. She's dreaming to be a leader. I don't think this should be. But this is, I'm sorry, first of all, if that's the case, go and make your own movie. Why are you going to a classic? Why do you have to touch a classic? It doesn't matter. Make your own movie. Why are you touching?
They were using an iconic character.
Oh my God.
Then make the mentality.
Bro, then make it something else. I don't know. Call it raindrop, sunshine, whatever you want.
It's the same thing they did with the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid were used to encourage representation. To bring something different
a
to this new generation.
Mermaid can be anyone. If they have a black mermaid, I'm all for it. If you change the storyline and make it about something completely different, I'm not with it. Why do you have to go to a movie? That's why I hate remakes on a whole. Why are you touching classics? They are there to be classics.
Because
they are legends.
Something like the contracts. If you like the classic, go watch the classic.
No,
the classic has to
write your own movie. Why are you touching?
They did delete the classicness. No, the classic is still there. If you want to watch the classic, you can go and watch the classic.
It's not about that. It's an insult if you touch my classic and turn into something else. If I wrote this, right? I mean, I guess the people are dead or whatever. If they have family members that are still left, I get that. But the thing is, like, don't touch it. And calling a prince a stalker when this is the whole premise of.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the reason why you are so against it is because of her, the person telling you this.
No, that is actually not true. That is not true.
Another thing that I can agree with you is like is this project is giving you the opportunity to excel in your career, why you trashing it? Why you trashing the story?
I
Why
don't
you
care if
trashing the
she's
character?
trashing her career or not. I don't like the girl. The
No,
only
I
reason
say
why
the
I give her a
story.
little bit of grace is because she stands with Palestine. She understands that it's a genocide. That's the only reason and the only
But
thing
you're
that
jumping into topics because, to be honest, I don't celebrate just anyone that say free Palestine.
No, that's not the point. That's why I say give her a little bit of grace. But my problem is, and you are right, we shouldn't celebrate just anybody who says free Palestine, because that doesn't make you a good person. But what I want to say to you is, when you say to me that I'm judging her because of the way she delivers her message, I actually couldn't care less, because to me, I agree that when you say stuff to people, it should be in a respectful manner. But but she didn't address me personally, so I don't take it personal and I don't care. What my thing is the thing that they are saying and that they are selling with this movie. I don't think that Snow White should be changed. If you want to make a movie about a woman, a girl who's dreaming to become a leader, by all means, go for it. But then write your own movie. If you're too lame for that as Disney, then I don't know how to help you, because that's absolutely insane to me that we have to take a classic, we have to completely destroy it, deassemble it to make it something completely different. And I'm sick and tired of all these little girls being sold how you need to be a leader, you need to be. No, you don't need to. You don't need to. If you want to be a leader, you can be a leader. This whole fake feminism, Western feminism.
Well, it's not
bullshit.
like it's the point. It's like you need to be responsible for you. That's the message.
This is not the message. The message is that these days, as a girl, you are wrong. Like, how many girls who say, you know what, I don't feel like I want to be a leader. I don't want to have a powerful career. I actually want to be I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to be a mom. I want to be a housewife. You get
That's
judged.
what you want.
You get judged. That's the problem.
No, you don't get
yes,
judged.
you do get
What
judged. Oh my gosh, you get
for
judged.
everything. You get judged if you dress modest. You get judged if you dress provocative. You get judged if you eat healthy. You get judged if you eat trash.
Wait.
The judgment is everywhere.
In this whole mainstream of media and social media, girls who dress provocative are being celebrated.
No,
girls
they're also criticized. They're
criticized if they don't.
Slash shaming then.
Yeah.
Blame
Shame.
them for
I'm with that.
everything.
I'm with that. Yes, that's absolutely. I'm with that, because honestly, to me, it screams. It gives it gives desperation.
Yeah,
it screams attention seeking.
You see, right now you're judging.
It is attention. So okay, then explain to me, why are these girls half naked? You can't even scroll on Instagram. Why?
Every person has the reason what they're doing. Some people are trying to build a platform. Some people just do it for attention.
What is it that you're selling? So you go and you pay, I don't know, you pay I don't know how much for all these plastic surgeries, for all your BBLs and all of that, and to what exactly?
But you see, right there, you are judging them.
Yes, I judge them. I judge them. I judge them 100%. I think it's absolutely, it's a shame.
So
it's sad.
This war is gonna judge you regardless of what you do.
And this is the point. Why are we poisoning little girls? Okay, if you are going to be judged as an adult, regardless of what you do, why do we not allow these little girls to grow into whatever they want to be? Why is it that we have to teach them?
The teaching independence. Independence is
it's not independence.
It is independent.
There is a huge difference between independence and telling somebody you need to become a leader, you need to become this. Let me tell you something. This whole thing with
I don't think the message is you need to.
When you have little girls who are just growing up and who don't understand, all they want is to watch an innocent movie. They don't care about being subconsciously fed all this bullshit of a boss lady, boss whatever thing and stuff like that. You want to become that, there will be time for it. You can acquire this on your own. But I don't believe in this Western feminism to be fed to little girls. I just don't. It's the same thing when you have all these artists, whether it's Cardi B or any of these people, the way they dress, and they have like 10-year-old, 8-year-old fans with all these lyrics and things that they say in the songs and how they are dressed or not even dressed, I should say, whether it's Cardi, whether it's Nicki or any of these people. This
But
to me
it's
is not right.
Cardi B. It's not Cardi B. It's not Disney responsible for raise your child. For example, I'm responsible for what my child watch. So
I agree
I
with
cannot
you.
blame. You see, I cannot blame Cardi B or Jay-Z or Beyonce or Disney. It's I'm the one that filter the information that gets to her.
I agree with you, but there is
I mean?
always ways for them to get to it, you know. And when you filter this information, as parents, we should do that. Yes, we should definitely filter certain things, you know, or content that children watch. But I just find it wrong. My thing is not with the parents or with anything. My thing is also not even with the artists. My thing is that this industry is deliberately feeding young girls and little girls this kind of stuff, which creates a lot of insecurities why girls with 16 want their nose done, want their lips done, or other body parts done. And this is my problem. This is what they grow into.
And I agree, there is a a Western beauty standard that are beyond ridiculous. Yes, they definitely. But I think this is different from what the movie is talking about. I don't think
it is all the same direction, because dreaming of being a leader, you need to. It's not you just don't dream. Oh my God, I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to have my own company. I'm going to rule the world. I'm going to be a president. I'm going to be that. There is a lot of things that I acquired. It starts with that, but then it starts with looks. It starts with sacrifices that you have to make.
But I think you're mixing too many
I'm not. This is what feminism is about. This is what they're doing.
Take the level away of feminists or from men or from women.
I can't. Because it's exactly that.
Yeah, because it's narrow your vision.
No, I'm not.
Like
far from it.
The message is like, to me, the message, what I got it is like you cannot wait for someone to come. No one is coming. No one is coming.
Nobody said that no one is coming. Nobody said that no one is coming to help me. Nobody said that no one is coming.
There is no Prince Charming.
That is not even the point of it.
That was the point of the movie.
No, it's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is that her father was a leader and he wanted his daughter to become a leader. So she was dreaming of being a leader. Now, you know, they brought in all this kind of stuff. They brought in, like, because there is so much to it. They put even the dwarves, they put them in CGI because there was like a lot of talk about it. About
and that's another, that part right there, I can. That was the worst part. What do you need CGI when there's real people that you couldn't hire for the movie?
Well, I mean, this is also, and this is what I'm saying, like all these, we got to be PC, we got to be politically correct, we got to be politically correct. Okay, to be politically correct.
But they were not politically correct because they use computer instead they use real people.
Because they said they didn't want to insult the real people. But what I will say is you do not use a classic, go write your own movie and make it independent women, whatever you want, or leadership or whatever you want. I'm not saying that women shouldn't be leaders. That's not even what I'm saying. I think women should be whatever they want to be, but when you do this, when you feed little girls these kind of things, I think you're taking the option of choosing what they want to be, because they started. I know so many girls, right? So many girls who always said, you know what, I never actually wanted to have a career. I wanted to be a housewife. I wanted to have children. I wanted to be a mom.
Why did they went to the professional like that?
Because of the world, because of the society, because the society is pushing them. You get judged if you don't do nothing. If I was to say
again, you can judge regardless. You can judge if you go to work, and you can judge if you don't get to work.
Okay, if I say tomorrow to you, Maria, I'm not working anymore.
Your decision should not be dependent on what the people are gonna say, because you're gonna be wrong.
If I say to you tomorrow, Maria, I'm not going to work anymore, I'm done working.
Have fun.
But how am I having fun? Obviously, this is not sustainable, right?
But you have to mix it with reality. Like, how you gonna support yourself? Are you selling something? Like, there is a lot of things that goes behind that thought. Me, your friend, if you told me I'm not gonna work, what I gonna say? No, there's no work. I said, like, it's your decision. I trust that you are responsible enough that you're gonna find a way to take care of your bills.
But
besides being support, I cannot do nothing with that information.
No, but that is the whole point. You will still tell me, you might not say it to me, but you will say, and this is what people do, you can deny it or not, you will say, she's crazy. She wants to stop working.
No, I wouldn't say I'm crazy. You see, you're judging me.
Oh, yes, of course I'm judging, and because that is what happened. But that's not even the point. And for those people, no, I'm not saying I'm stopping to work or whatever. That's not even the point. I'm just giving an example.
I think there is options, and everybody should do what give them peace of mind.
Not
regardless
if you
of what
are programmed already. That's exactly what I'm saying. If there is options, let people have the options. But if you start feeding little girls already, this is the only way and this is the way forward, it's wrong.
But I don't think the program used to people to be independent and so reliable is wrong. I think it's right. Whatever you decide after, it's up to you.
There is a difference.
I think if they're programming them to be independent, go for it. Yes, honey, because you should. If you decide to be a housewife, it has to be because a decision, not because you don't have other choice.
There is a lot of room between housewife and career. There's a lot of other things in between, you know, like
but that was an example.
But I just wanna say this. You mix it up. I'm not against independence, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't be taught independence. And if for those who know me know that independence was one of the very first things that I was taught by my parents for very different reasons, right? But it's still something that I hold on to, and it's something that's important to me. But with these kind of messages, you don't teach girls independence. You teach them you need to be a leader and you need to basically crush everything that's in your way, and this is your only option. Like, forget about everybody else, forget about everything else. This is the only way forward. Become a leader. And I am totally against that, and that's not going to change.
Well, I'm totally in favor of teach people to aim for leadership. Some of them are gonna reach it, but at least you are preparing yourself.
With 3 years old, with 5 years old,
there you go, guys. Two different opinions for you to vote.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're making a vote. Okay, interesting. Let's go. Let's do this. But we need to
vote in the chat.
We need to move on anyway. So we talked a little bit about.
You told me to talk. There you go.
Yeah, good. Keep talking. Oh my gosh! If you only knew how much we talked, bro. So we need to touch about on Gal Greenstein.
Oh my God.
As well. So for many different reasons, she is the evil mom. And apparently her role was so bad that they always had to mention that she was evil because her acting skills was terrible. She was in Wonder Woman. She was in a couple of other movies. She's a former IDF member. She was an instructor, fitness instructor for the soldiers in the IDF. And she was apparently part of this movie, which she was trashed for many different reasons. She's a staunch supporter of Israel because she's Israeli.
And after her terrible movie, what happened next? They give her a star in Hollywood.
The actress received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today, but the ceremony was briefly disrupted by protesters. Gadot is an Israeli, and pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli demonstrators both clashed near the event, delaying it. Gadot, known for her role as Wonder Woman, called getting the star surreal.
This is very surreal for me, and I feel like I'm the luckiest woman I know right now.
So it's not the celebrity that chooses or pays for the star. It is actually, as a celebrity, you can be nominated by pretty much anyone. But that person needs your permission. and they have to submit some of your stuff, your work, your bio, all of that kind of stuff. Then they have to pay. I think at the moment is about $75,000. And this includes the creation of the star, the installation, and whatever else it takes, okay? Most of the time, this has been done by either a record label, if it's like a music artist, or if it's like any type of actor, it's like by a production company, production studio, or whatever. So we can only imagine who paid for her star movie. Oh my gosh, these people.
Wild guess.
These people just know how to buy everything. If they don't deserve it, they will just go and get it anyways. That's so funny. Yeah,
Yes.
so that much to Gadot.
Wait, and something happened to the star.
What happened?
They destroyed the star.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they destroy it. That was the best part.
Yes. Oh my God. That's actually okay. So this is again a time we shouldn't celebrate destruction, but
This one is a good destruction.
Well, you know what? Okay, so at this point, I just want to say something and make a statement. So a couple of people reached out. It was very funny when the editor said it to me, but when I was like, yeah, okay. But when I received 2 other messages about people who were a little bit upset about me making that comment, or a shout out to those people who helped bring down the shares, the Tesla shares. I was not celebrating anybody's life savings being out the window. I was not celebrating anyone who lost their money. You guys are a little bit too sensitive. I'm not going to lie. I was literally happy about the fact that this crazy person, gets some type.
I think we're going to have to put things to perspective, right? I know there are people losing money, but there also are people losing life. And this person is hoping to fund these atrocities. So I'm sorry for the good people that lost money because the Tesla went down, but I'm gonna celebrate the Tesla shares go down because that person deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
We had to put things into perspective as well, right?
We do. We 100% do. And speaking of that, is that all with Gal Gadot? Can we move on from her?
Oh, yes, please. We don't need to talk about
it. Yeah, cringe. Okay, so we're very big on freedom of speech, especially when working in media, when being online, when it just affects everyone. The Daily Wire was known before October 7th to be a place that was absolutely for freedom of speech, especially Ben Shapiro, aka the most annoying voice of the internet, aka Crybaby. He was actually a staunch believer in freedom of speech, and he was always saying that freedom of speech is conversation is what pushes the things forward. October 7th happened. Obviously, we know he's a full-blown Zionist, and that's not it's not lost on us. But his tunes changed a little bit, and freedom of speech has limitations all of a sudden. If you are not standing with Zionism, that means you don't get to experience and explore freedom of speech. And that is what changed a lot in the Daily Wire. Like almost a year ago, no, it's actually a little bit over a year ago, Candace Owens got fired. She's doing her own thing. I think that's the best thing that could happen to her. Sometimes there are blessings in being in rejection. I don't understand why people don't believe that rejections can be extremely beautiful. We just might not see it at that particular moment, but time, which proves also in this case, shows us Candace is more successful than ever. She's keeping it 100% real. And another on this note, the reason why what I also like about Candace, she's so unpredictable. She's so crazy. She knows how Harvey Weinstein is an evil person, how disgusting he is. She knows about all his demonic doings, but she also knows that he was convicted in certain of these cases. He was wrongly convicted. So now she is working on exonerating him in these particular cases, and she has receipts. She's coming with facts. She's not talking trash. And but back to the Daily Wire, I find it very interesting. So the CEO, Jeremy Boring, is gone.
Good. But can I go back to Candace Owens?
Yeah.
Because I love her. I love her so much. Like you said, firing her was the best, not only for her, but for us, for our community. She become someone that I can admire. Because before, the conservative narrative was not mine, and I didn't like that much. But when she became her own thing, oh my God, the changes, the mess and the delivery that she did, that she's doing it right now with every single topic, not only Palestine, because obviously everything that is done, this pro-Palestinian are gonna always post it and repost it and support her and listen to her. But every other topic, the way that she delivered, the fairness, the proof, the receipt, I think, yes. I mean, they disengaged with the Daily Wire was the best thing that not only just for her, but for our communities. She's a great source of information. And the way that he shared it is very user-friendly. I don't think anyone can listen to her and say, I don't understand what she's talking about. It's clear, it's concise, and always with information that you can use and even resource it yourself. To me, she's my standardness. I think that's my goal.
We still don't have enough details, I feel, but I just feel it's very interesting. It seems like they want to sell the Daily Wire. I don't know who wants to touch it after all of this. Like Ben Shapiro, the most annoying person on the internet, the most annoying voice on the internet, and he's such a crybaby, and he's been such a crybaby for the past almost 17 months or 16 months, I should say. I don't know who wants anything to do with this person.
And whoever thinks that Ben Shapiro knows how to debate, you don't know how to debate. That is not a debate. That's speaking fast and hoping that people don't listen and get confused.
Do you think
so he doesn't know how to debate?
Do you think he would have made a good dwarf and Snow White?
Grumpy?
Okay, delete, edit.
No, edit that one. That was funny.
No, this is demon hour, yo. This is demon hour. It's Ramadan. We should be not so. And speaking of Ramadan,
you should be nice.
Right, we should be, but
you should
listen. I'm telling you, I'm trying to be nice for 1 week at least, right? Every week I say, okay, this week I'm going to be nice, but they don't let me. They do not let
10 days. You have 10 days left, bro.
It's not even Ramadan. Generally, I say, okay, this week I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be a nice person this week. And then 2 hours later, it's all destroyed because they do not let me.
Yeah, people don't let you.
Yeah, they don't let me be nice. It's not my fault. Shift the blame to everybody else. No self-accountability. Okay. The next topic is that's something that you was also very excited about. Why? Over the past couple of years, there is more and more non-Muslim people who are actually participating in Ramadan. Why? Do you know?
There are more people participating, non-Muslim people, right?
Yeah, non-Muslim people participating in Ramadan.
Yes. For me, especially, I'm participating in Ramadan since October. Since last year. I think it was in April last year.
Yeah, in March.
And the reason why I personally started is because the Palestinian people in Gaza, seeing them, the resilience, their faith, the strength, moved me to my core. Like these people were starving already, but they were committed to celebrate it, stop eating for the faith. They were praying in the middle of the rubble.
I know.
With everything lost and they still praying. So oh my God, it still made me cry. Remember those images?
I know.
But yes, that's why I started, because I'm not a religious person. I do believe in God, but I don't follow religions. But they with the way they act is something supernatural in there, because like these people lose not one, two, three, hundreds of family members, their house, their houses, everything that they worked for years, and they still bend the knees and pray. They're still fasting. They're still praising. They're still hoping. And I haven't seen that much strength in my life. So that's why I decided to do it in solidarity with them, to try to be a little bit like them.
I mean, it sounds all very beautiful. And I do know a lot of other non-Muslim people, like not even those that I see online who have similar reasons or who just want to try it. I'm a little bit resentful, to be honest. And I have a couple of non-Muslim friends who started fasting as well a couple of years ago. Because, okay, so for someone like me, and I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking for people like me who grew up in Europe or in the West. So growing up as children, we always were made feel like our religion, our culture is something weird, is something out of this place, is something that's not right, is something disgusting. And we barely dared to say anything. Like growing up, I couldn't even tell people I prayed. I felt so ashamed. And at the same time, I felt ashamed that I was ashamed that to feel this way, because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything crazy. But people were so judgmental about the way we pray, about the things we do. And it was in when it comes to Ramadan as well, the same thing. This is unhealthy. How can you stay the whole day without drinking or eating? This can't be good. It was always very condescending and very, put in a very negative light. And when I became a teenager, that's when I started not to give, any, like, I didn't give a fudge. So I was like, I was speaking openly about praying, about my religion, about my culture, and so are other people as well. And the only thing is, that's why like Muslim people have two personalities. You have the home personality, where you have to be where you are, how you are, and how you've been raised, and how you are supposed to be, according to custom and your parents and everything. And then you have your outside personality, where you are forced to adapt to the Western world. Otherwise, you're going to encounter a lot of problems and a lot of scrutiny and judgment. And it's very hard to let go of it. Some people never manage. That's why they become like totally whitewashed, or they become secluded and just stay within their community. And I feel like both things are very wrong, and it's very hard to come out of it. So the only thing that we had growing up that we could come close to, which was okay, was like being different, like when it comes to marginalized communities, was the Black community. We could identify with the music a little bit because it was rebellious, and I'm not talking about any of the sexualized music that was out there. Yeah, exactly. It was hip hop, it was R&B more for me and stuff like that. But it was for some even reggae. But I'm not talking again about the sexualized part of it. I'm talking about the rebellious part of it. People who were storytelling, people who were having political songs, or songs that actually said something, with a meaning. And that's what it was. That's what was okay for us to identify with. That's the only thing as foreigners was okay for us, because it became mainstream, it became pop culture over the years. And then now all of a sudden, Ramadan is hyped. Everybody is participating. Since intermittent fasting is acknowledged as healthy, Ramadan can't be that bad. Oh my gosh, you guys pray different. That's okay too now. So you have on one side people who are still scrutinizing, judging, and being Islamophobes. On the other side, you have people who hype this thing for different reasons. And you're in the middle thinking like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, I'm sorry, Ness, like,
don't be.
No, because, yeah, and there is a stereotype. It has been a stereotype on Muslim and in the Western world. Like I told you before, like my first interaction with the Islam, with Muslim, was after October 7th, right? When I start hanging out with more you to understand the culture. But before that, I don't know, it's unconsciously or consciously, I never had this interaction before. Like I never, our cultures are never interested in growing up. And the only thing that you hear is what is in the news, you know.
Yeah.
What the movie show you, you know.
Yeah.
You know who are the bad guys in every single movie.
Yeah. Very true.
And it's sad, right? Because I could have enjoyed more of the Islam and the Arab community is this blockade, and our societies were not there. Because I think I miss out. I miss out on beautiful people, because we were somehow separated, right? And and I think actually, the resistance in Palestine, one of the things that they accomplished. I was very careful.
No, it's not that. It's like we went from this. You managed to somehow bring the resistance.
I managed to bring them.
Okay, continue. What about them?
I think one of the accomplishments of our freedom fighters, my beloved freedom fighters, is that they bring down the walls of cultures. Now the Islam, the Arab culture is all over the place. People are actually reading the Quran. I think a lot of people has converted since October 7th. The Islam is the fastest growing religious.
And this is also another thing with the people reverting. And I don't mean to step on anybody's shoe here or anything, but I just want to say I understand if you start having a love for Islam or for anything for that matter. But even when you revert, make sure this is really something you want to do, and it's not just like a phase. It's not something that's just.
It's not a trend.
Yeah, it's not made in the moment. It's not a hype, and that's why I'll stay here. And I appreciate everybody. Obviously, if you find Islam, that's to me like absolutely an amazing thing. But I want you to do it for the right reasons.
Yeah, definitely. And if that's why people say like, when you gonna revert? Not yet. I don't think. I don't think that it's in my plans to do it yet. I never say never, never say never, right?
Oh
but
my
I
God,
think, like,
that's very new music
I
to
think,
me.
but I think if I do it, it has to be with a conviction, you know, not because right now during all this since October 7, 2023, there's a lot of feelings, right? A lot of sympathy, guilt, and I don't want that decision that it should be for the rest of your life be guided by feelings or guilt or feelings or sympathy. It has to be something personal. It has to be for me. So that's why that is a conversation for a different day. But I do understand it's the moment that you decide, it has to be for the good reason.
It definitely has to be for the right reason.
It has to be for you. Yes, it has to be with a conviction that this is the path that you want to take, because it's a lot of responsibility.
But you know what? Also, at the same time, you don't have to be perfect. You know, the reason why I say this, right, is because I just see sometimes certain people who reverted to Islam when times were tough. And when either times get tougher, they cannot stand the pressure, or they just get like, oh my God, I feel claustrophobic. This is not, like they go back to their old selves. And I just think, honestly, before you make such a decision, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. If you decide, you need to know where you're getting. I understand that you don't have to be perfect, but you need to understand what it implies. You know what I mean, and be honest with yourself.
No, I understand
if you're gonna
that,
be committed.
But even as born Muslims, do you think we're perfect?
I think you're perfect.
Oh God, please not here again. You know, I'm not perfect. If you guys, she's such a liar. If you guys ever was to find out what she called me last week, okay, and has been calling me ever since, it's so bad that it actually triggered my anxiety.
What do you say? Why? What did you just say?
You say that I'm perfect, right? And I'm just trying to
Yeah.
explain to them that you're lying because this week you have been calling me out of my name and you have calling me something else. And if they were ever to find out what you have been calling me and that you really hurt my feelings deep,
oh my God,
you broke my heart, you triggered my anxiety. I need 2 years of therapy because of you now.
Well, I can't believe that you brought this up here. Now you have to tell the whole story.
No.
Yes, you have to.
No.
Now they're gonna say like, what did Maria call her?
Maria called me something that is unimaginable.
Oh my goodness. Told them. Now you have to tell them.
I can't say it.
You
I can't. And you have to go.
No. Well, we cannot say it because it's Ramadan, after Ramadan.
No, we can never say it. Do you know why do you want to wait? Why do you want to what's the right word?
Mislead?
No. Expose me in front of the public. You just want to make
you expose you, so why do you have to tell them the story? Now they're curious now. They're gonna say like what did Maria say? And then I'm gonna have to tell them after Ramadan.
I'm telling you guys, you will never guess what Maria called me.
And I have a good reason, guys.
I'm the premium version of it on top of it. and I'm telling you, it's not so easy to guess because it's not like she didn't call me the B word. She didn't call me like nothing like that. It's even worse.
No, we never.
Oh, but that word is okay.
It's no worse. It's a feeding. It's a feeding. It's feeding because what you made me go through.
What I made you go through? What did I make you go through?
You made me go through.
What did I make you go through?
First of all, you came used to a routine.
Yeah.
You spoiled me with this routine, and then you took it away for no reason. Oh no, not for a reason, to punish me for something that I didn't even do.
Punish you? Oh my God. Okay, here's the thing.
No worry, guys. I will tell the whole story.
No, if you no.
I will tell you guys. I will tell you everything.
No, we won't. But what I will say is,
email you, all of you.
You cannot tell me that I punished you when all I was doing, trying to be considerate and thoughtful, because that is my love language.
Yeah, you're acting like Rachel, the liver in the messenger role. John.
Oh my God, Maria.
Rachel.
If it was in this room, bro, I would throw all the equipment here on you. You're calling me Rachel? That's so disgusting. You cringe.
But you're delivering the messenger role, that's why.
How am I delivering? I explained to you that I was being considerate of something.
No, you punished me. I was happy with what we had.
No, you didn't.
Blah, 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 blah.
Should I bring the date? Should I bring the movie night out? Should I?
Movie night?
Mm-hmm. We were supposed to go on a date.
Oh, you forgot about it. Yeah, that's another thing.
It doesn't matter. You're supposed to remind me.
No. So you invite me to something and I have to remind you that you invite me. That's not how it works. Oh, that's a good question. Another question for the listeners.
Okay, first of all, I don't date, so I would never get myself in this.
Oh, look at you watching your hands. No. So guys, question.
If you invite someone, I'm sorry, I don't. I find dating is the stupidest method to get to know someone. This is dumb. Dating is beyond dumb. Because everybody is fake when they date.
It's fine.
People fake. Look, Maria, people fake it, okay? When people date, they have their marketing department come out and sell them from the best side. Yeah.
But don't deflect. Don't deflect.
I'm not deflecting.
Guys, question for you in the comments so we can close the podcast and I
now
can't
you
wait
want
to
close
see
it.
because I can't wait to hear what you have to say. So if you invite someone to the movies,
Yeah, I did.
Whose responsibility is to follow up? The person that you invite, or the person that schedule the date or the event?
Wait. Why are you skipping the most important part of the story? Because if you tell the story that way, of course, the person who invited you
exactly. Thank you.
But here's what happened. Here's what happened. I invited Maria. Well, I didn't invite her. I did ask her if she wanted to go out on a date with me.
She wanted to go on a date with me.
No, so first of all, Maria said we should have a date. And then I was like, okay, so I found the perfect opportunity to have a date. And then she was like, I sent her this thing that I wanted to go to. Then she said, oh, this is cool. I'm going to buy the tickets. And then I was like, no, this is my date. What are you talking about? I'm going to buy the tickets. And then she was like, no, I'm going to buy the tickets. So we went on. Then I went and actually bought the tickets. And I actually had even our chaperone. I had a third person. And then I totally forgot. And for Maria, it was very convenient. She was like, she forgot. That's very good. Right? That's what you was thinking. Admit it.
I don't have to admit anything. That's not how it happened.
But it's not how it happened, where you was trying to occupy my date and you wanted to buy the tickets?
I was trying to be considerate, like you call it.
How is it considerate? If I show you something and I say, let's go there, and you say, okay, I'm going to buy the tickets. It doesn't work like that. Now, all of a sudden, you want to take over everything. So if you want to be in control of everything, then you might as well just remind me as well. I forgot. Yeah.
I might as well be your secretary too. No, I was being considerate. You said, like, I cannot do it because I couldn't find how to add the second person. So she say, wait, I'm gonna find out how we can make sure that what person is gonna get the tickets. Mm-hmm. And then she forgot all about it and abandoned me.
I bought the tickets.
Yeah, and you forgot about telling me that you bought the tickets.
And I abandoned you.
Wait. Did you went to someone else? Did you went with someone else? I did just crossed my mind. Oh my God, you went with someone else. I just found out about these guys. Thank you for helping me to figure it out. You did. Oh, you little. We're gonna talk about this stuff.
I totally forgot to go.
Did.
No, I didn't.
But you pause.
Because it was funny. I was thinking, like, who would be an option?
You lied to me on Ramadan. You need to fast it for an extra week because of that.
Oh my God, you're crazy. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, I think we're done for today. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in, wherever you're tuning in from. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today.
Thank you, guys. See you in the comments.
And wait, do you want to address anything?
No? Hello, everybody in the comments. Thank you for commenting.
Okay. That's all. That's all we have. So, all right, guys, we will be back next week with a brand new episode. Peace out.